Oh,
Yeah. Chris Chan did what?
Dude, I looked at the quartering did his whole like, what do you guys want me to talk about? And every reply was that. They were like, can't you got to talk about it. You got to talk about it.
The replies of Chris Chan's mom. Have you seen those flash? That it's just like the picture of her in the bed. You know what I'm talking about? Chris Chan was one of like the internet's like original and biggest and most like long-lasting lol cows, effectively. And yeah, the shit that we don't need to talk about, like the shit that came out about him today is disturbing as fuck. But just
I want to know about it now.
Just another chapter in his legacy. Honestly.
Okay, well, it looks like it's
he's basically having sex with his old mother who has dementia.
Fuck, of course he is.
The stream. I'm just gonna put in the private chat for you guys references. This is the picture that I'm talking about that everyone's using.
Okay.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Do I want to see this?
No.
Oh no!
No.
No!
And his necklace is in the shot.
Now that's Chris Chan's bedroom. See, that's Sonichu, his original Sonic character.
Sonichu, yeah. His OC.
Ricky, why? Ricky, why?
Ricky Berwick.
That poor old woman.
Oh, what the?
There's Matt.
I need a second down the rabbit hole of this guy.
I
Austro-Hungarian strats for $100. All right, starting off with a strong liquor tonight. Yep, probably a good idea. Casimir La Nikki for $50. I've got the ending song of Evangelion blasting right now. Feels appropriate. Also, love your content. You got me into Berserk. Yee, I love Berserk. Sir Tusk for $5. It's okay, guys. Chris said no chromo before he did those things. Take it, boy. I like that pun a lot. I'm not even gonna lie.
No chromo.
Spencer Kyle for $10. Do you think Chris will get away with it? I'm kind of worried he will. I don't see any possible way Chris can get out of this. Okay. Original Professor for $10. If Chris can get someone, what's our excuse?
You don't understand. Chris has gotten multiple people.
Turn your headphones around. The audio might be upside down.
Oh, you're right. Let me just flip it upside down real quick.
Nah, like it's completely fucked.
All right, there we go. It's upside down. Yeah, it's working. That's like a...
I know you're lying.
I saw the glint in your eyes that you believed me for one brief moment.
Yeah.
That's all I needed.
Wayne Vid was dope. I might watch the show. I really liked it. That is a really good show.
Oh, yeah.
But, okay, so... No bullshit. Let's just get right to it in regards to what happened. So... To put a very, very long story short, I need to get nice and comfy as I explain the in-depth lore of Chris Chan. You essentially have a guy who was relatively one of the first infamous figures in regards to internet shit, in regards to being a lolcow. Obviously, he's not the first. I think there was plenty of them even back there in the fucking 90s.
Oh yeah.
But Chris is like one of the most notable ones. Jack Dolan for $5. Lolly starts streaming. The chat's collectively and hero. I hope you're proud of yourself. By the way, thank you for introducing me to Dan Deacon. I like Dan Deacon a lot. It's very experimental. It's pretty cool. But okay, so for Chris, he was literally being picked on since like 2006. This is a guy who has spent the last 15 years on the internet being shat on like nobody's business. The amount of shit Chris went through is actually astonishing. Like it's honestly hard to believe in parts where you read it and it's like a bad comedy of like, no one's that stupid. That's fucking like ridiculous. But it keeps happening. It keeps happening. It kept happening. It happened for fucking years. And now we have possibly the best possible quote-unquote ending to it all. Now, I'm trying to think of a way to describe it.
The best ending.
Yeah.
You were raped pops up in the top right corner. Good ending achieved.
There you go. Dugan Man for $5. After Kevin Smith and Chris Chan, all we need is the year of the Spoonie with an AR-15 in a supermarket for this to officially be TV's year. Did they talk about Chris Chan on TV? I never thought they did. I thought he was mainly like B and V.
He bleeds into everyone.
That's actually a good point. Okay, with Chris, there was a long ignored part of his lore where Chris's worst enemy has always been himself. Yes. He is a lolcow. Now, there's a lot of misconceptions on the lolcow. A lot of people think, well, that's just people going after you and trolling you and all that. And yes, there are cases of people legitimately harassing people on the internet. No one's going to deny that happens.
Lolcows are self-sustaining.
Lolcows are self-sustaining in that they are always their own worst enemy. At any opportunity where it would be a lot smarter to simply shut the fuck up. Shut up. You had to crack open your dollar store energy drink I bought you. But yeah, shut the fuck up.
Someone fizzed on the way down.
Yeah, it's fizzy. They never do that. Lolcows always try to win, and that's what causes things to get so out of hand. They always try to win against the people trolling them. They always try to win. Chris was classic for that. So many fucking times, he would try to win the trolls. He would get into these literal sitcom-era ops, trying to one-up people making fun of him on the internet. And that's where he got shit with Sonichu, where he would literally write trolls into the story specifically to die.
Right.
And it's this thing where he never fully understood that the reason they were making fun of him was because he kept reacting. Because deep down, that's Chris's personality. Scuba Dan for $15. What in the ever-loving fuck is this Chris Chan thing? Also, good morning. Oh boy. Okay. So...
Oh, I can't hear the RRs. Oh, I'm sad now.
Yeah, told you.
Like, that's the only thing that makes me sad.
Yeah. So fool, damn nigga, you cashing the big bucks. Reluctantly, I'll even put it like that. So, to explain Chris Chan to those unaware, because our poor boy Dan, our poor Israeli Dan doesn't know.
Poor Dan.
Chris Chan was born and raised in Virginia. Basically our fucking neighbor. But, actually, yeah, West Virginia. Or Virginia. It's Virginia. Yeah, Charlottesville. Basically, he was born and raised typical redneck. The only problem is he has severe autism. Actual, like, medically diagnosed autism. This caused him to be a little bit quirky, where essentially you have the mind of a 9-year-old permanently stuck in this ever-aging body. So from there, Chris would get himself into various shenanigans around town in Ruckersville, Virginia, where he lives and was raised. This isn't a dox everyone knows.
West Virginia.
Yeah, whichever one, I don't remember. But basically, he was always just the town weirdo. Well, he was coming up right as the age of 4chan was starting to be a thing. And the thing with Chris at the time is he really wanted to get popular with this webcomic he was making, quote-unquote webcomic. The webcomic is Sonichu, which is literally a marriage of Pikachu and Sonic. Everyone knows this shit.
He turned us into fucking
It's like one of the most infamous webcomics in fucking internet history, not even a joke. So, he would insist on it, he would make entire, like, websites for it, business cards for it. He was really convinced he would make a franchise out of it. The problem is, he's a fucking idiot. Like an actual idiot. As stated, he's a 9-year-old in the body of a grown man. So, you know, you introduce that to 2006-07 era internet, that shit's bound to end bad. And it did. Nora Vanguard for $2 is Chris Chan lore the MGS of lolcows. Very similar. Down syndrome? No. Full-blown autism. Like, he's intelligent.
He's high-functioning autistic.
He's high-functioning
autistic, which means he should be able to be let out into the normal world and live a normal fucking life. Relatively normal.
But he never does.
No, because he's fucking babied and coddled.
Yeah. So, the thing is, it literally just turned into a barrel of bananas. One thing after another. It was one thing after a fucking another. There would be endless, literal fucking organizations of people specifically to fuck with this one retard on the internet.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a joke. Jay Rivers for $5. Every living person to Chris. Stop this madness in the name of the king.
No.
But the thing is, as stated, Chris is his own worst enemy. Take it, boy. If he simply stopped reacting to the trolling, if he simply did not do a lot of really stupid shit that he did very early on, his life would be substantially better.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
if he didn't have access to the internet, he might be a normal person.
Not even just if he didn't have access to the internet. If he just knew when to shut up. That is Chris's biggest flaw. Jack Doan for $5. Don't compare that low-functioning sped to high-functioning autistics with full jobs and futures in society like me. Well, that's the thing. Like,
that's what That's what he is.
Yeah, he's medically diagnosed as high-functioning. I also think there's a lot of factors that got ignored because...
Don't blame me. Blame the doctor.
Yeah, literally, blame the 1980s doctor.
I didn't go to school for however many fucking years to get yelled at on the internet.
I didn't shit-talk people that went to college to be treated like this. But basically, what it comes down to is Chris is a narcissist. He is desperate for attention. He doesn't understand societal norms. So when you add all of these things together, it is a recipe for fucking disaster.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what happened. I blame Josh. Josh fucking tried. He tried to help.
Josh tried to get him back on the high-functioning part of the autism scale.
Yeah. So you have this guy that for years was being fucked with on the internet. To the point that entire documentaries were made just chronicling the wacky shenanigans.
Are
currently ongoing, yes. And, like, it got to the point where guys were dressing up in pickle suits to show up to the mall to steal his girlfriend. That kind of thing. That was back when it was fun. Then you had the kid that got him to shove a fucking medallion up his ass.
Medallion.
Yeah, that happened. Yeah, it was a fake medallion he made. He was convinced he was talking to Shigeru Miyamoto and was going to pitch a game to Nintendo, even though Miyamoto doesn't speak English and has no idea who the fuck this dude is. Like, it's honestly insane. And what kept escalating it is he honestly did not understand when to shut up. He didn't understand that, no, you can't run to George W. Bush to get people on the internet to stop making fun of you. No. Like, you're not going to get the police to get this guy who lives in a completely different state to stop doing impersonations of you because he thought it was funny. You're never going to get half the shit you want, but Chris doesn't understand that. He's the mind of a child. He thinks if I run to an authority figure, they have to help me. So you add that with his penchant for everything has to be about me, I'm basically a god. And then you add that with, I don't understand when some information needs to be private, and you get shit like him doxing himself.
He doxes multiple people.
Sometimes completely unintentionally. It gets to the point where he's admitting to very, very private information in public videos he's uploading to the internet. The dude had no understanding of how people actually worked. And good parents can fix a lot, and that's another aspect. His parents were very, very, very neglectful in what they should have been doing. Now, granted...
How old... So when Chris Chan first turned up on the internet, how old do you think Barb and Bob were?
When he first turned up on the internet, he was in his 20s, so they had to have been like 60s.
I was going to say, because they look old, even in those old videos.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. They had him very late.
Yeah, Chris Chan was most likely an accident.
Yeah. So, yeah, his parents are a whole other fucking can of worms. All you gotta know is Bob might have been a good old boy racist who might have actually been part of the KKK, but he was a good guy.
He grew up in Virginia. That's like part of growing up and being white.
He grew up in Virginia during the Civil Rights era. What the fuck did you want from him? So, Chris went transgendered, and he did that because a lot of people say that he did that because he always kind of had the inclinations, and Bob and Barb were kind of repressing him from that. And they mainly get that because comments of when he was younger, when it's like, oh, I prefer hanging out with girls than guys. I don't believe that for a second, because the only reason he liked hanging out with girls
because those were the only ones that talked to him.
It's because they were the only ones that talked to him, and they would baby him. They would pity him.
And his dad paid them to hang out with him.
Yeah. The truth of the matter is, Chris tuned out specifically because he thought it would get people to stop making fun of him, 1. And 2, he thought it would get lesbians to like him. I'm not kidding. Like, you have to understand... Literally. Chris operates on a different line of logic than a lot of people. It's usually what can he get out of it.
Listen, you think it's a joke whenever people are like, "Oh, nah, man, I want to fuck a lesbian chick because she hates dicks. That means it's going to be super less gay, right?" No, Christian operates like legit by that logic.
Yeah. He showed signs of autogynephilia. That's another thing. He just liked the idea of banging a female version of himself.
That's true.
And yeah, he just plain hates men. Like...
That's what a weak father figure does to a motherfucker.
And it got to the point where, someone brought it up. He would do like binaural beat sessions where he would listen to that like synthesized crap, and it would try to brainwash him. Literal sissy hypnosis. Chris tried to sissy hypno himself, and he would rub like estrogen cream on his man tits to try to like get boobs, and then he would like cut his taint open. Literally. He got super drunk one night, took a knife, slashed open his taint because he thought that's where his vagina was hiding. Just under his dick and balls.
Oh my God! Stop!
And it's this thing where like...
That no man's zone between or underneath your dick and balls and right before your asshole, folks.
Yeah, it's called the gooch.
He just went fucking ham with a knife one day.
He did it twice. And it got to the point where people had to like actively manipulate him to go to a fucking hospital because he was going to die. And the thing is, okay, you're free to live your life however you want. You are. But that's not, I think I'm a woman deep down transgenderism.
That's not good.
That's full-blown mental instability. You actively harmed yourself.
And nobody stepped in to be like, man, we should probably, like, do something about this guy.
I mean, you would have some people that would. But then you had others...
No. I mean, no medical professionals stepped in.
Like, none of them... Like, they got so fucked... I'm convinced that entire town's waiting on that family to die. I'm actually convinced.
They're gonna fucking jump in and steal the land.
Yeah.
Fucking cleanse it of the native burial ground that it's on.
They're so tired of him and his shenanigans. Like... There's a guy by the name of Gino Samuel who's made an entire documentary documenting the Chris Chan. Right now, kind of the most famous resource to talking about him at the moment. And he's up to like part 50. And these are like hour-long episodes each.
Yeah.
So 50 some odd hours talking about this dude just because he's had that kind of life. And a lot of this is surface level shit. I'm well aware. We're not trying to talk about... anything in depth
we're not looking at the deep psychological like fucking foundations of Chris Chan here, okay?
No, we're just introducing it to people who might not know. So we've already established he's lost his mind to the point of actual mental instability and borderline hallucinations.
Right.
Like he's talking about how he would like, switch bodies with various people and shit like that where it full-blown sounds like he's just batshit nuts.
He talks about how he communicates regularly with alternate universes and shit like that.
Yeah. Like, he's actually insane. Jesus for $1. Any man can be a lesbian. Just go ham on your gash, Christian.
Ching, 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 ching.
It's like a manhunt execution. You take the glass shard.
You just fucking come up behind some dude, flip him forward, and just go ham on his fucking tank.
The brutal execution.
Yeah, you have to stand behind someone for at least 5 seconds before the fucking adrenaline pumps enough to fucking throw him forward and go ham.
Yeah. Well, now it's gotten to the point where, essentially, Chris Chan... Okay, I'm going to explain exactly how I found out. Because you have to understand how fucking sudden this came. Out of the blue, you wake up. Maybe you're at work. Maybe you're getting ready to go to work. Maybe you're on break and you're just, you're looking at the kiwi farms. Just trying to find interesting news. you see there's a new thread on Chris's board, which is like one of the biggest boards in Kiwi Farms. He's like literally one of the main segments. You click on it, and it's Chris Chan incest leaks.
Yeah.
So you're like, what the fuck is that? And you find out Chris Chan was in a call with a girl. And it's like a 9-minute call. 9.5 minutes. I think it was like 9 minutes, 30 seconds.
People still doing gay ops against Chris Chan.
And the worst part is he falls for it.
Still.
And basically, this girl is talking to him, and he's admitting to being in a sexual relationship with his own mother. And the thing about Barbara is, she was 50 years old when he was born. She's damn near 90. And she has dementia. Like, no two ways about it. She has some kind of mental problem.
Yeah, she's real bad off.
Like,
physically and mentally.
Like, it's something to where it's actually not a debate anymore. Well, Chris, in this call, is talking about her and admitting to, like, a lot of fucked up shit. And then there were text leaks that came out.
You fucker nonsense, you stole my goddamn joke.
Yeah. There were text leaks that came out specifically talking about Chris doing things with his own mother. Now, the thing is, a lot of people were absolutely convinced it wasn't real. And I'm not kidding. Because...
No, Chris Chan's too good. He would never do that.
It had nothing to do with that. It was, okay, who's fucking with him right now? Because this would happen time and time again.
Who manipulated Chris into saying he fucked his mom?
Exactly. But... then apparently the chick herself was posting in Kiwi Farms and said, no, we just got to talking about this. He admits it. Everyone would even say, it's not like he has a gun pointed at his head. Because you can tell when he's forced to say something.
Yeah.
You can actually tell. He gets very, like, he has a very distinctive voice pattern.
He gets very stressed when he's, like, forced to do something. He has certain stutter patterns that he does.
Yeah, it's very specific, funny enough. Casimir Lanicki for $15. It's so sad watching all the new bloods react in horror to the unclit. Now we all have partaken in the cursed knowledge. We are now the Lovecraft protagonist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Noel says Barb hams up her dementia. I don't believe Josh. Well, that's the thing. No one really knows for sure because they don't want to go and check. Like, they just don't want to go and check.
It's not even like Chris Chan or anyone can hurt you. They're just afraid. There's an aura of pain and suffering that emanates like through a 3-mile radius of that fucking house.
My homie Blackbuster critic foretold the incest arc years ago. How? Literally no one saw this coming. I'm not kidding. Do you know any autistic person in real life? A few kids in high school, but that's about it.
Yeah.
But okay, the whole story with the incest arc is, it went from there's audio of Chris admitting to having sex with his mother. Everyone starts going, what the fuck? And with the audio getting leaked to Twitter and places like that, it goes off like a wildfire. It spreads, like, people that were watching know exactly what I'm talking about. It was like top 5 trending on Twitter all day yesterday.
Yeah.
Hell, right now we have close to like 800 people watching the stream, specifically because we are talking about this subject. That's fucking crazy.
There's people that just want to learn about the wonders of Chris Chan.
Exactly. And essentially, with all this hysteria comes the obvious. Is this legit? Was this just a Ween trying to make history? Was this a Ween trying to imprint himself in the worst way possible? Because there's always that possibility. It's happened time and time before.
The court of public opinion has come back, man.
Exactly.
There ain't no coming back from this.
Well, that's the thing. Was this made so the court of public opinion would rip him apart? And so, some people got to talking with Chris. Null, a guy by the name of Dylan Thomas, he does like Chris Chan videos. They got to talking to him and were trying to like coax an answer. Dylan got screenshots from the DMs and he specifically said, cut the bullshit. Cut the dimensional merge shit, cut all this, like, fucking tell me, yes or no. And Chris went, well, this is all a test to prove everyone's worth. If you leak these messages, it means you failed. And he goes, yes or no? And Chris just goes, yes. So Chris admits he was saying all that shit. So 2 out of 3 where you already know Chris was saying this shit. Chris admits to saying this shit. That last step of, but does he mean it? At that point's kind of redundant.
Does he mean it though? Now once Null pulls or had pulled his fucking support, it was done.
Oh, that was done.
That was Chris Chan is hooked up to the ICU unit, and Null pulled the fucking plug.
He pulled the plug and he pissed on the outlet.
He pissed on the outlet.
Yeah. Because it's basically a thing of, to put in perspective, the guy who owns Kiwi Farms, the guy we keep mentioning, Null, Joshua Moon, he really looked out, I have to use past tense now.
Past tense.
For Chris.
Yep.
It's funny because Chris is like 30 years older than he is. But Josh actually saw him as almost like a little brother. People in Kiwi Farms would ride his ass because it's like, dude, why are you protecting this asshole so much? Like, why is he special compared to everyone else? But he admits it on his own streams, like I'm mad at the internet. He admits it where he doesn't want, like, he feels bad for Chris, almost like a little brother. That kind of thing.
A rule of locals is don't fuck with them enough that it permanently fucks up their life because of something you did. They can fuck up their own lives and you can laugh, but you don't get involved.
Don't tip the cow. That's literally the rule.
Before that was a rule, they had already fucked Chris Chan.
Yeah. Uncle Kitchener for €5 has Cole thought about sending Barbara to an old person's home? He's the only person in the family that actually cares. I honestly think he doesn't.
I was gonna say I think he actively doesn't like Barb, right?
Yeah, and Cole is Chris's half brother, Cole Smithy. He lives up in New York, I want to say, and he basically disowned the whole family.
Yo, everything down there is fucked. I'm not going back.
How old is Chris? He's late 40s, because he was born in like the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I get Cliff Notes on who Kiwi Farms is? It's a forum website that talks about locales.
It's like we're talking to like a fucking news station.
A lot of these people barely understood who Chris was. Of course they're not going to understand what Kiwi Farms is.
That's like being like, wait, what's World War II?
Yeah.
Literally.
Joshua Moon strikes me as a good person. He's a little bit of a doomer faggot, but he's willing to let you say it. He's not one of those that...
Yeah, I was going to say, he's not someone that wants to stop your ability to say something, so he can't be too terrible.
Yeah. But, so Chris has always been obsessed with sex. He chased away one of his only legitimate friends, a girl by the name of Megan, by being creepy and constantly trying to pressure her into dating him and having sex. So it's been a thing he was dealing with for years. The entire reason he even started his love quest, which was literally him trying to find a girlfriend, was because he wanted a mommy GF that he could fuck all day. Well, out of nowhere, he started talking less and less about sex recently, like 2021 timeframe. A lot of people, including myself, banked that on SRTs. I tried to find a PC way to say it. SRTs. Like, sexual replacement. He was taking tranny pills, and I assumed it was making his ding-dong not work. I fully assumed that was it.
That would be the best case scenario.
Turns out it was something else. Jay Rivers for $2. Chan wanted the prostitute to check his Poke cards. Rory Statue 33 Born Again for $5. I knew of Chris Chan, but not all this. It's like finding a lost show from years ago. So exciting.
Jack Dion for $5. Chris Chan is quite possibly going to be indicted for the rape of his own mother. What in the ever-living goddamn fuck is this timeline?
Ivan for $2. What the actual hell? Sir Tusk for $5. Remember, chat, Chris may have done his mom, but I did yours. Remember what Chris said, no blackies? Yeah, that was literally a thing. When he went to college, he had an entire sign literally advertising, I want a girlfriend, and one of the rules was straight up no blackies.
Yeah. You can't be black because daddy wouldn't approve. You can't smoke because Chris Chan couldn't handle a smoker.
Yeah, he didn't like smoke.
Had to be a solid like 9 out of 10.
Couldn't drink.
Had
to have a stable job.
Yeah, you had to be able to support Chris Chan.
Yeah, because he wanted to be a house husband.
Yeah.
You know, he wanted to stay home all day and cook and clean.
Yeah, he wanted to be able to, which he can do neither of, by the way.
He can do neither.
His house literally burned down because of his lack of cleaning ability.
SRT or HRT, it's the same thing.
SRTs or HRTs.
Yeah. Shroom pills don't do that, sir. Oh, yeah, they do. Certain people, they absolutely do.
My dick don't work anymore. Thought that was the point.
He harassed the black kids at the game place. Yeah, that was one of the reasons he got banned. He would scream at the black kids. That's not even a joke. He would scream at the black kids when they beat him at Yu-Gi-Oh! And he would always accuse them of trying to steal his cards.
He's just trying to steal my Exodia pieces. Stop, no.
Never touch a man's Exodia.
Never touch a man's... Did Chris actually graduate college? No, he got kicked out.
He did.
He got kicked, did he make it a couple years?
He picked a very basic bitch degree, which was computer-aided drafting and design.
Yeah.
So that's like literally a 2-year course to finish.
It's like 2-year bare minimum, like, computer skills class.
Yeah. It took him 4 years.
And he didn't finish it.
Yeah. So, cut to today, we find out that the reason he was not obsessed with sex anymore, instead of it being hormone pills messing with his pee-pee, it was because he was using his mother as essentially a fleshlight.
Yeah.
And that's not even a joke. That's literally what it was. Because what it started off as, this is the best of my understanding from the story, Chris would massage her. Because, you know, you have like an elderly family member, they can't move a lot, you massage their limbs to help their blood flow. You know, because you don't want them...
Let me sidetrack you real quick. So, Chris is notorious for not taking showers. Yeah?
Yeah.
Very, very bad hygiene. So, what are the chances he doesn't... Because Barb's too old. She's not all there. You gotta bathe elderly people. Barb has probably not been bathed in like months.
It's probably one of the signs that the fucking state workers found.
God. Into fucking killers!
Adams for $2. So would this count as buck breaking or not? Are you talking about Chris screaming at the black kids? No. Because anytime they would threaten to beat his ass, Chris would back down like a bitch.
Yeah. Most loud people do.
Yeah. So, with the actual story, timeline of events that were going on is what Chris was basically implying, was that it started off with he would massage Barbara. Then he would start inching closer and closer to her vagina. Not even kidding. He admits this. And it got to the point where he would touch the outside and then would start putting fingers in.
He started fingering his mom.
He started fingering his elderly, dementia-riddled mother.
His 162-year-old dementia-ridden skeleton grandma.
Yes. That withered old granny. You know, just imagine a withered old grandmother, snow white hair, plate of cookies, getting fingered by this blob of a man-child.
Hair literally falling out because she's so old.
Yeah, like so old. Yeah, that level. And then it kept escalating, where Chris would constantly escalate it.
So tangy, so foul.
And it apparently, according to Chris, exploded into a full-blown sexual, I don't want to use the term relationship, because that would imply mutuality, but he would literally rape his own mother. At least that's what Chris is saying from the audio. And after all this came out, and the police got involved and he got kicked out of his own home, the reason Josh finally said, fuck you.
I like the idea that we're building up, like
we're
the
building
line
up.
The line wasn't drawn at fucking forcing your elderly mother fucking hips up in the air, face against the wall, fucking
throw her onto the pinball machine.
Throw her on the pinball machine.
Make her squeal like a piggy Deliverance style.
Yeah, just fucking going ham on her. That's not the line. That's not where you draw the fucking line. Like, that's not morally reprehensible. Yeah. No, fuck that. That's fine.
I'm building up to when he lost the Everfree money.
Yeah. The brony money! The fucking brony money's where we draw the line!
So, for context, Chris really wanted to go to, like, some brony convention over in Seattle.
Oh, God.
And Noel was trying to raise him money to go, because this is before all this happened. And he actually almost got, like, $5,000. Like, actually, decent chunk of money. Well, after all of this came out, after all this shit came out, and they're all like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong? Why would you do this?
Right.
Well, as it turns out, it gets a little bit worse. Chris had to sleep in his car that night because he had no money for a hotel because he wasted all his money on fucking toys.
Yeah. Like fucking buying a Nintendo Switch. Anything, any money that comes in is used for shit that he wants. Zero necessities.
Yeah. They were drowning in debt. They were going to lose the house. Like, it's not even a matter if they were going to lose the house.
Yeah, they're going to lose the house.
Yeah. So, in the morning, after everything happened, Noel checked the bank accounts. Because I'm not kidding when I say Noel is literally the best thing Chris has in his life. Because he's basically an older brother that's willing to slap him across the head and say, you're a retard.
He's trying his hardest, man.
He found out $750 disappeared from Barbara's account.
Yep.
And he asked Chris, what the fuck happened to the money? And Chris admits he took it. Now, the thing is, Chris has his own separate bank account, so it's not like they share one and that's just also his money.
Right.
No, Chris has his own. And one of the orders of the EPO was you are not allowed to contact your mother, you're not allowed to get near her, and you're not allowed to take anything from her.
Yeah.
Meaning money.
Meaning anything.
Yeah. And when Noel asked him about this, where it's like, what the fuck happened to the money? Chris lied and said, oh no, there was never any money that went missing. And so when he threw it in his face, that's when he finally admitted, yeah, I took the money, I needed it. And that's literally right when Noel said, okay, you lied to my fucking face in a situation you know is serious. Go fuck yourself. That was when he was done. 750 with a Patreon? No, this was just money. Like, this is Social Security money his mom had.
Yeah, this was his mother's money that he took from her.
Yeah. Sordid Sentinel for $5. Last week I said Chris was doing well, making money via commissions and posting vids about ignoring trolls. Now I keep throwing up in my mouth.
This is what anyone gets for thinking Chris Chan is just in any way, shape, and or form like a good model citizen.
I thought he took 750. He did. It was like $750. But so after that, Noel finally said fuck you and just disowned him. And that $5,000 that Chris was supposed to get, that originally was going to be for the Brony convention, but then when all this happened, Noel said, I'll give it to him for emergency expenses because this is serious. Now he's straight up saying, I'm refunding it all, fuck you, you're not seeing a dime.
Right.
So Chris was going to get $5,000 to help him out, now he's not getting shit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And the funniest part of it all is with that $750, you want to know where Chris went? He was last spotted at the mall.
No.
He could have went to a hotel and got a place to stay for at least a week. He went to a fucking hotel.
He went to the fucking mall.
Like, he went to a mall. Yeah, he went to the mall. So it's to the point now where it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
So we know that from at least June 27th on, he has been fucking Barb.
That's when he said it started, but...
That's when he said it started, and Chris has notoriously always tried to protect himself from looking bad, whether,
yeah,
however the fuck that works in his own brain is between him and God. So it's probably been going on for longer than that.
It's possible. HK9410 for $5. The way you guys worded that sounds like a darker version of the mom from Cuck. That might actually be an apt comparison.
Daily massages.
Yeah.
Imagine you're laying in bed waiting for the Grim Reaper to show up at the foot to take you to hell, and then your son comes barging in with his hair down to his fucking ass crack. He hasn't washed himself in 6 months, and you smell him barging down the hallway, and then he screams, "It's time for your massage." And one tear rolls down the side of your bedridden cheek as he starts at your feet and slowly inches his hands up your leg.
The worst part is you can't even fight your own mind to keep you sane. You have to drift off into memories.
You're trying to remember your husband who died fucking 10 years ago. You're trying to remember him. You're trying to remember the old house that you guys once had as your fucking son is slowly inching his hand up your leg, up your thigh, and now he's grabbing you full fist on the cooch.
This is Barbara. She's in hell.
This is Barbara's hell.
Yeah.
This is. How can Cole be angry at her anymore?
Yeah, I feel like anything she did to him, it's been paid back in full.
In fucking full.
Everything she did to Cole was paid back through Chris.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
So
this is awful.
It's horrible.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible.
And the thing is, I said it before at the beginning of the stream during the rambles of words as we were trying to figure out why we can't hear shit in our headphones. I given up on that. Fuck it. But basically,
we don't like putting effort into things.
I don't like it either. People seem alright. But basically, Chris is his own worst enemy. We can debate all fucking day. All fucking day about, did Chris deserve it? Is this his fault? Who's this? Who's that? What have you. Uncle Kitchener for €2. Quickie is sweating right now. Dude, Quickie's down.
Quickie's down.
Like, it's actually down. There's too much traffic.
Quickie down. Quickie down.
It was taking down Kiwi Farms. I was trying to read it.
Oh, no.
But, okay. Chris mind broke his mom. It's not dementia.
It's not dementia. That's the word. Listen, I've always been a big proponent of, like, dementia is one of the worst fucking things that can happen to elderly people, because it's the one thing you're supposed to have when you're older is your memories. You know, you're losing your physical strength. You know, you can't do as much. Pretty much you're just relegated to being in the house and going shopping every once in a while. And you got to be careful with that, because if you fall down, you fucking break your body. But you have your memories of better times, of your family and all this. And this is the one time I hope and pray to God that Barb is able to escape into her dementia and not remember any of this. Because if she fucking is there and cognizant for this, then the memory she has of being old is going to be daily rapes from her son, who she has been taking care of for fucking 40 plus years. Who she has been supporting for 40 plus years, going in there and fucking massaging her and raping her.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be the memory that she gets to keep of her old age. Yep. It's not gonna be of her time when she was young with Bob. It is gonna be of her fucking son.
Actual hell.
Raping her while she is immobile and unable to help.
Yeah.
Unable to do anything.
Because, man, like I said, there's a lot you can say about Barb. She did a lot of bad shit. She basically created Chris as he is now. But the shit Chris did to her, if it's legit, if this is...
I fully believe it is. I do.
Yeah, I am simply throwing out the possibility that it's all a LARP. There is no way on earth it is at this point, but the possibility is out there now. If it's really that bad, no, like, there's no way on earth she deserves this. I mean, she is a 90-year-old woman with dementia.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she was a pretty bad mom to 2 kids. Pretty bad human being in general. This is the kind of shit that makes you kind of question the idea of scorched earth punishment.
Yeah, you're like... this makes you question, wow, does she deserve this?
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I don't think so.
I really don't either. I really do believe Chris crossed a fucking line. And that's the thing. 1 second. Doomslayer121 for $10. At the end of the day, Chris had the terrible end of the stick. He was born from a horrible family and never been given a chance in life. He's become the very product of his environment.
Can't blame his environment for forcing him to, like, walk into his mother's room and rape her.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of shit that crosses a line and shows you who he really is.
Right. NASA Joe for $5 Australian. A reminder, if Chris gets jailed, he's going to a women's prison. Also, Barb made the first move.
Oh, God. Thing where everyone constantly made excuses for Chris. And it, once again, comes down to that thing of you feel like he's basically an autistic little brother. You feel bad for him because you read about so much shit he went through that you just tend to forget about the points that he was fucking evil. Like, I really do believe Chris, deep down, as a human being, is evil.
Most of the stuff that he did, he would go into thinking, how can I benefit from this?
Yeah. Very selfish guy. And at first, it was just petty stuff that, sure, it's childish, but everyone's petty at some point. And when you watch a guy every single day, you're going to find more negative than you do good. Because there's just little parts that annoy you, that stick out, and you just spend so much time that you get exhausted with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's this thing where it was literally almost an internet version of The Truman Show, where you're watching these scripted events take place and you're watching the worst of this guy come out. And so a lot of people have this colored perception, especially in recent years with the Geno Samuel documentary and a lot of the people with YouTube channels literally dedicated to talking about Chris Chan, where they would expressly say they want to give him the chance he never got, which is we're just going to show you what he does. We're not going to try to paint it with our observations. Obviously, you have channels that do, and they specifically make fun of him. But Geno Samuel in particular, the big famous documentary right now, he expressly just wanted to talk about Chris. No, his opinion never factored into it. He never tried to make a snide comment or anything like that. Just show you the information. And from there, that's when you can start picking up on the red flags and the warning signs of Chris's true nature. Because, to me, there's a difference between a victim of circumstance, which is a kid raised in a family of bank robbers is never going to realize bank robbing's fucked up. Because that's the environment he grew up in. He's like, well, that's what you do. You rob banks. That's how you get your money. There's a difference between someone like that and somebody that has been told at every single step, think about this for a second and do something else. And he would expressly ignore that.
Right. Doomslayer 121 with $5. Chris is absolutely in the wrong IMO, but at the end of the day, he only acts this way because of the way he was raised. He's absolutely in the wrong, but I don't think there's any credence to, the idea that, well, the parents raised him bad, and they coddled him a bunch. And if you coddle your kid too much, then of course that's going to lead to him sneaking into your room and then fucking raping you against your will. That there is no, in my mind, there is no correlation to being too nice to your kid will end up with them fucking coming into your room and fucking fucking you.
That's what I mean. Where this is the kind of shit that crosses a line and makes you look back on a lot of the stuff he did in a much more scary light.
Right.
Where one of the famous stories with Megan was Chris drew a picture of himself fingering her.
Yeah.
And it was literally called She Came for Quick. And it turned into this whole thing. Main reason she even disowned him.
Yeah.
One of the excuses he gave to her was, if I didn't draw it, I would have done something stupid.
Well, she gave him an out, too, which was get rid of the fucking picture.
Just stop talking about it, get rid of it.
Yeah. And he didn't.
Yeah. He expressly didn't. He not only expressly didn't, he would try to find ways around it instead of just deleting it. Now, granted, once it was already published and people knew about it, it was way too late.
Yeah.
But there was at least, he could have shown the effort to her. But he didn't want to. And it's because he had these desires built up inside of him that he wanted to fuck Megan.
Yeah.
So people look back on that line of, I would have done something stupid, and look at it, especially after what happened today and yesterday, with, he would have actually tried to rape her.
Wait, was that a threat? Is how it's being viewed now. Was that a fucking threat?
There was another story where during the Liquid Chris saga, all the shenanigans with Chris are broken up into sagas.
Right.
Literally Dragon Ball Z, that's where they got the idea.
Yeah.
There was a storyline in where Liquid Chris had a girlfriend named Casey.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Chris has a thing with women, once again. He gets very obsessive with women, and I'm not even kidding, obsessive. He stalks them. He stalks all sorts of women on Twitter. That's why a bunch of them blocked him. Well, it got to the point where he faked taking over Liquid Chris's identity, where he was posing as Liquid Chris while on phone calls with Casey. Casey was well aware.
Yeah.
They were well aware of what was going on. That was the joke. But Chris was trying to talk her into visiting his house. And it got to this point where you really take a step back and you think, what the fuck would he have done if she actually did show up?
Right.
Because you have to look at it from the perspective of Chris, where he's unaware it's fake. To him, he's actually talking to this girl into coming to his house. And there's a phone call where Casey's freaking out about this, where it's revealed Chris wasn't Liquid Chris and all that. It's a whole fucking autistic shit show.
Yeah.
Well, she herself even brings it up. what the fuck were you expecting to happen when I showed up and you were not who you said you were?
Right.
Like, you wanted me to go straight to the bedroom. What did you think was going to happen?
Right.
So you look on this now with a lot, like, darker implications. And it's this thing where you wanna give him the benefit of the doubt and be like, well, no, he's just dumb. He's a big child. He wouldn't have done anything. But then you cut to today with what he did to his own mother, and you realize, no, this motherfucker had that penchant. It's a thing where I'm of the belief that this is just kind of a personal thing. I'm of the belief that people don't turn into monsters. That's your true nature coming to the surface. I feel like if Chris is capable of doing that to a family member, like his own mother, who is suffering from dementia and had no idea what was going on, that crosses a line. That's not, oh, he did this because he was trolled. That's, motherfucker, you're evil.
Every day I wake up and I hope you're dead.
Your hard drive is filthy, right? We got your computer back. I mean, it is dirty. I'm talking like hoes, sluts, anal, double anal, penetration, interracial, facial, man, cream pie. I don't even know what that is.